We're here once again at the fabulous Marlene and Rose Glass Gallery in downtown Clearwater. And with us this week is photographer Donna Green. Donna!
Hi, nice to see you, Randall.
Thanks for coming. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you coming. I saw your work, and I had to meet you, and I had to talk to you. So, but the viewers don't know who you are, so tell us a little bit about yourself and how you get into this.
Okay, great, and thanks for having me today. Actually, I started out a little bit like everybody else, with just an interest in photography, but I was actually in grad school to be a psychotherapist, and I needed a way to burn off stress from grad school.
Right.
So I found a private teacher and called him up and started taking lessons from the ground up. He handed me just a manual Nikon FE with no motor, no batteries, nothing, and said, let's get started and take it apart.
Thumb wind?
Thumb wind.
Holy cow.
Film, thumb wind, all of it. So I learned the science of it before I learned the art of it.
Oh.
I found out during my work that I could help my clients, my psychotherapy clients, by photography as well. And it helps me have a little better interaction, I think, than someone that doesn't have that kind of background training.
Right. Okay, fine. So from grad school and learning how to do it, and then, like, do you still have your practice, or now you just be a photographer?
I don't. I
full-time?
practice through my artwork.
So, okay, so here's the question. How did you make the jump from part-time to this is now what I do full-time? How does that work?
The first time I photographed somebody and I handed her the photographs and she started to cry, I thought, you know what? I am making a difference.
Wow.
I am making a change. And I just thought that that would be a more helpful way for me to work my practice rather than going in and doing therapy every day, because I was honestly more on the science part of being a psychotherapist, crunching numbers and such.
Yeah.
So I can do the same in the photography work, but still reach people at an emotional level.
That's what it's about, right? With art, reaching people on an emotional level.
The way that I shoot it, I think it is. The way that, I try to really make a relationship while I'm taking a photograph. I share stories, I ask about their stories, and having the psychotherapy background really helps me understand different personalities.
Right. So that's how you got started, and that's how you got kicked off. What's your like favorite type of shoot to do? Is there a favorite type?
My favorite type? Well, I started with models, and they're easy because they know what to do. And then I have a love for music, and I paid my dues doing family photography, and I started shooting music about 2009, and I just found it super challenging to try to adjust to the ever-changing light on a stage, having people in the audience in your way. Musicians are so dynamic, and I just fell in love with being in that environment and making photographs from that. So everybody gets a front row seat from a photograph that I make. So primarily, I started doing music photography. I still toss in a few weddings, and I'm a portrait shooter at the end of the day. I photograph people.
Right. Okay, great. So when we come back from this break, from a word from our sponsor, Donna's going to tell us about some of her specific pieces. Okay, don't go away.
Great.
Or else.
tune in next week when we have Poet Laureate Larry Jaffe. I like it.
Oh, we're back. Okay, so we're back with Donna Green, and she's going to tell us about some of her work. What's the first one you want to show us?
Well, the first one I'm going to show you is a band picture that I did in Chicago of a rap group actually called the Rich Kids. The backstory is I met the founder of their group, Stephen Jewell, in Tennessee. He was proposing to his wife or his fiance on a bridge at 3 o'clock in the morning in Tennessee when I was finishing a gig, and I saw it going down, so I got some photographs for him. And surprisingly enough, he's a musician and hired me to come out to Chicago to photograph their group. When I met them, I saw 3 guys. So I went to Chicago with just a rolling bag of gear. I arrived and there were 9 men. I had no assistant, no extra lighting. I was in a city I'd never been in.
Oh my gosh.
I don't specialize in natural light. I'm more of a studio shooter. So that image to me helped push me to become better. And I think that's what separates you as a professional, is when you show up and you might not have the right gear or the right idea of what's happening, you still have to get the shot. So I was really proud of those images. Coming from 9 people I had never met in a city I was unfamiliar with lighting conditions that aren't the best that you can have.
It's amazing. It's really good.
Thank you.
Okay, show me another one.
The second type of images that I really like to shoot, I work with a lot of special needs kids. And having the psychotherapy background really helps because you have to understand some of them don't like you to be very close in their space. So some you need to be further away and you have to understand some of their challenges. So this picture of Kylie Griggs, she has cerebral palsy. I've been photographing her since she's 2. And she was bent over and couldn't sit up or anything. And now through therapy, she stands like this in this wheelchair with assistance. And those are the images that touch my heart. And so those are the ones I do to feed my soul, not my wallet.
No, it's amazing. I mean, you really get the emotional content.
Thank you. She's beautiful, and it's been about 7 years now. Well, 5 years. She's 7 years old. So
wow,
I love that image of her.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, we got time for one more.
Well, sometimes I shoot just to shoot for artwork, and I'm fortunate that I'm surrounded by tons of artists that are willing to be a victim for me. So this particular image is of my friend Charles, who was moving into doing tarot readings and things like that. So we just set up in my living room with all of his gear, and we did some of these beautiful images just for the sake of making artwork and to just connect with another artist and share what you do with each other. And I really think they came out beautiful, and he was happy with them. There's no pressure. It was just for the sake of making an art piece.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Okay, I got time for one more question. So let's say I'm a young person and I really love photography and I want to be a photographer. How do I go from I bought a camera to I don't have to work 9 to 5 for the man, I can just be a photographer? What's like the number one advice you want to give me?
Oh, the number one advice. Practice, learn your gear. Because you can go, anybody can go into the store and buy a really nice camera now, put it on auto, and become a photographer. Anybody can really do that. But if you want to take meaningful photos that you can recreate, you have to understand your gear. So if you have the passion to do it, the patience to practice and learn, you have to get out and practice. There's no other way. So once you learn your gear, get all the science down, get all the numbers down, and if you have that creative influence naturally, you just have to throw caution to the wind. Throw caution to the wind and chase your passion, and money will follow. So don't chase the money first.
Okay, great. That's really good advice. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Randall. It's my pleasure.
And I'll put links and stuff to your website. And
Great.
We'll promote the heck out of you.
Great. I appreciate it.
Okay, see you next week.
Thanks so much.